We're going back in time with Bairdy. For those of you interested in our magnificent club's history, I'll be going back in time over the coming months, revisiting some of the milestones, snippets and facts from yesteryear about our wonderful club, which was founded in 1903. This episode of Going Back in Time with Bairdy, I honour one of Manly's forgotten heroes, Joe Kirkwood, the youngest assistant professional in Manly's history at age 13. Here is his story. Deeply etched into the annals of Manly Golf Club is Joseph Henry Kirkwood, a former caddy who became an assistant pro here at Manly Golf Club from 1910 to 1915, and a man who went on to become one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. Joe Kirkwood, born in 1897, who lived to 73 years of age, was the second son of English-born parents. After an early education in Manly, he left home at age 10 to work on a sheep station in outback Australia. His boss introduced him to golf, and Kirkwood took it with tremendous zeal along with his purely natural ball-striking aptitude. Upon his return to Sydney as a teenager, he sought work as a caddy at Manly Golf Club, eventually rising to become an assistant to Dan Suter, founder of the PGA. From those humble origins, his golf career blossomed. After later stints as a club pro in Brisbane and Melbourne, Kirkwood won the Australian Open in 1920 with then a record 290 for 4 rounds. The same year, he romped home to win the New Zealand Open with a score that smashed the previous record winning tally by 12 strokes. Kirkwood took his skillful game to the Northern Hemisphere in 1921. He was well in contention for the British Open title but fated to finish 6th. He later claimed he had been consistently distracted by bookmakers in the crowd. They would have suffered huge losses if he had finished champion. In 1923, Kirkwood again did well at the Open, finishing 4th by 3 strokes, and in 1927 Kirkwood tied for 4th at the prestigious tournament. Joe Kirkwood failed to win a major abroad. It was said his temperament held him back, but he was clearly one of the world's finest golfers who won 17 professional events. Kirkwood took up permanent residency in the United States in 1926 and became increasingly involved in exhibition matches with legendary players including Walter Hagen, Gene Sarazen and the great Bobby Jones. Attached as head professional to several top American golf clubs, the Australian spent much of his time touring the world, giving trick shot exhibitions in front of massive crowds, becoming one of the world's renowned trick shot artists. Consider the following. He could play superbly both left and right-handed, drive a ball off a watch face, once hitting a hole-in-one while doing so. Another party trick had him blasting golf balls cleanly off noses of his terrified, prone assistants. He could also hit 2 balls simultaneously in different directions. What a player, and what a showman. Kirkwood and the American superstar Walter Hagen travelled extensively in Asia, Africa and the Americas. Kirkwood boasted that he played more than 6,000 golf courses around the world. Both Kirkwood and Hagen claimed to have popularised the use of wooden tees instead of placing the ball on the small mounds of sand or dirt. Their life on tour became legendary, combining Hagen's love of drink and Kirkwood's love of women. Kirkwood presented a cup to the Professional Golf Association of Australia in 1922. He returned to Australia in 1928, 1930, 34, 37 and 54, creating an exciting stir on every occasion. Although he transformed himself into a well-dressed, well-groomed and fast-talking showman with a pronounced American accent and colourful turn of phrase, Kirkwood always introduced himself as an Aussie. Among his acquaintances and pupils were W.C. Fields, Harold Lloyd, the Duke of Duchess of Windsor, Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, J.H. Scullin, along with a host of Rahas and aristocrats. In World War II, he was allegedly invested of suspicion of being an enemy agent, but Joe was only guilty of giving golf tuition to some Japanese soldiers in 1930. Kirkwood remained as an excellent player throughout his life. Age 63, he shot 62, 10 under par on a par 72 golf course, breaking his age for the first time. Yes, he was indeed an extraordinary player and character, Manly's Joseph Henry Kirkwood. The Manly Golf Club can claim Kirkwood and his origins with enormous pride. I hope you've enjoyed this week's history piece from the vaults of Manly Golf Club.